Today we're talking housing crisis, poverty, government policy, backpacks, backpacks that are filled with things most of us take for granted. This is From Dirt We Grow, and I am Stephanie Allen. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this episode as my guest today is doing great work in his community. As we know, it starts local. The changes we need, the changes we talk about that we want to see start local. While you're sharing, please don't forget if you haven't already, hit the subscribe or follow button and also that like. Every little bit helps, every little bit is appreciated. Today, my guest is Pops Danny of Zach's Rays of Hope Foundation. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here, Pops. I'm excited to have you.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing.
As you said, I am Pop Stanley. I'm 66 years old. I am the CEO and director of Zach's Rays of Hope Foundation, which is a foundation that my wife and I had originally started in memory and honor of our youngest son, Zachariah. But now she has decided she doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. So it's just me and the other board members that are running it now. And what we do is we provide backpacks for the homeless here in the state of Oklahoma.
That is amazing and a wonderful thing you're doing. I have deep respect for you, Pops. I've gotten to know you over these, the last, I don't know, not even a year. We've been connecting on socials. And if you don't mind, would you tell everybody the story about your son and I'm sorry, about your wife?
Well, thank
I know that's fresh. So
It's plain and simple. After 42 years, 42 and a half years of marriage, she's now decided she doesn't want to be married anymore. 2 weeks ago today, walked out and moved to Fort Smith, Arkansas. So at this point in time, I wish her the best life that she deserves in her endeavors in the future. But to get on to Zach's Rays of Hope, what Zach's Rays of Hope is about my youngest son, Zachariah. You see, Zachariah was the kind of guy that'd give his shirt off his back to anyone at any given time. At the end of November 1st to December in 2021, he did just that by taking a blanket to a man that was living in a shed that had no electricity, no heat, and no insulation. 18 days later, our youngest son was pronounced unalive at that man's hands. We had to lay our youngest son to rest 2 days before Christmas in 2021 at the age of 33. A few months later, we heard the story of a man who went to a religious homeless shelter in the state of Arkansas and asked for admission because it was below 20 degrees outside. They refused to give him admission based on the simple fact that he was a member of the LGBTQ community. So that night, when they locked the doors of the shelter, the man curled up in the doorway to get heat from the building. The next morning, when they unlocked the doors, sadly, they found the man frozen. He had passed in the night, freezing to death. At that point in time is when my wife and I said enough was enough. Somebody had to do something. So we started our journey to become a 501c3 nonprofit organization. In May of 2023, we were granted that status by the IRS and recognized by the state of Oklahoma as a nonprofit organization. Zach's Rays of Hope, Backpacks for the Homeless, Hope for the Hopeless was established. Since our inception, we put over 575 complete backpacks in the hands of the unhoused. Each backpack that we produce contains a two-man tent, a sleeping bag, a beanie, a scarf or neck gaiter, two pairs of gloves, six pairs of socks, toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, soap, a comb, deodorant, the backpack itself, four hand warmers, a pillow, a fleece blanket, a mylar blanket, a water bottle, a mini flashlight, a safety whistle, and of course, a holy Bible if they so choose to accept it. You see, that's what Zach's Rays of Hope is really about. It's not just about my youngest son, but it's about showing compassion, dignity, respect, and restoring a little bit of hope to those that have lost their hope in society. Now, as you can imagine, each backpack does cost us. They cost us about $100 to produce. But don't let that dollar amount scare you. If you break that down to just under 30 cents a day or $8.50 a month times 12 months, that gives us one complete backpack. If we can get 365 people to do the same, we would more than surpass our goal that we had for last year.
Now, as I said, Pops, I've come to respect you, and that is a lot to do with the fact that you turned your tragedy into something positive and something that helps the community. A lot of people would choose to do it differently. So, I mean, you have stats for days on homelessness and what's going on, you know. So, yeah, why don't you give us some details about how bad it is?
Well, one of the things, that first thing that I want to say is, as CEO and director of Zach's Rays of Hope, I do not take a salary, nor does anyone on my board take a salary at this time. Eventually, maybe we will, but I cannot justify taking money that has been given to this foundation when I have a roof over my head, food in my belly, and clothes on my back. I did used to have transportation, but I don't have transportation any longer since my wife left. So if there's anybody out there that has a reliable transportation they'd like to donate, please get in touch with me. Now, some of the stats, like what Steph was just saying, in 2023, there was a survey done to find out what the fastest growing age population in the United States was to become unhoused. What they found out is that your elderly and disabled are the fastest growing age group to become unhoused in the United States today. They grew at a rate of 150% during that 13 years period that ended in 2023.
Wow.
The sad fact is that less than 4 years from today, they're expecting that number to triple again. Right now, it's currently sitting at 139,098 as of 2023. By 2030, less than 4 years from today, they're expecting that number to go up to over 414,400 plus elderly and disabled Americans living on the street. The only group that even comes close are American veterans at an 8% on average.
Now, that 139,000 you were just talking about, that's just that demographic. That's not homeless, period.
Correct. That's just unhoused, elderly, and disabled.
And that's
Yeah.
not even all inclusive of all the homeless. Do you know that number?
Of all homeless, no, I do not know that number off the top of my head. But what I can tell you is that in the state of Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City alone, there are 3 homeless shelters that can house, all 3 combined, can house 900 people every night. The city says that they have 1,850 people that are unhoused on every single night. That means that over 51%, according to the city's figures, are being left unhoused every night. But you talk to the small nonprofits like us that work the streets of Oklahoma City, they will tell you it's closer to 3 to 4,000 that are unhoused every single night. Here's the sad part about that. Everybody always tells us, oh, we have a housing crisis in this country. No, we don't have a housing crisis in this country. What we have is a housing crisis of affordable housing.
Yeah, it's not the housing, the availability of housing. Well, it isn't the amount of housing. It is the cost of housing. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Here in the state of Oklahoma, there are 43 empty housing units per homeless individual.
Wow.
Nationwide, it's 20 empty housing units per homeless individual.
Per one homeless individual. So I just looked it up, Pops, just to see where we're at here. Homelessness is a critical crisis affecting over 770,000 individuals on a single night. And this is what it tells you, that it tells you where what it is, driven primarily by soaring housing costs, low wages, and a weak social safety net. So, guess whose fault it is? It is not the person that is homeless. That tells you right there that it is the government's fault, the policies that are in place.
Well, the biggest issue is you have these corporations that are buying houses above market value and then turn around and doubling the cost to rent them to the point that no one can afford it. The average cost of rent, average for the entire United States, is $1,624 a month.
Mm.
The average Social Security recipient makes right around a little over $2,000 a month. How are they supposed to pay their utilities? How are they supposed to provide food, gasoline, insurance on their cars? Which you got to have insurance or they'll take your car. Doctors' bills.
Hence the rising population of elderly homeless and disabled.
Yeah,
That's here. There you go. Yeah, the numbers are sickening, and the reality that people don't see enough is sickening as well. Let's take it back a little bit to what you're doing. And is it just in your area that you're providing?
primarily right now we handle Oklahoma City, McAllister, and wherever any other need arises here in the state of Oklahoma. Now, Lord willing, the creek don't rise. We do have plans for the future to expand, but the biggest thing is until this foundation is fiscally sound in the state of Oklahoma, I will not take it to another state. And we do have some other plans that I would like to see happen here in the state of Oklahoma, but I'm having to keep that one under wraps for right now. See, with my wife having left, she was the major breadwinner in the family, which means that I could very easily become a member of that statistic
Mm.
very easily.
And you're being so giving of yourself, and you could still be one of the ones that end up in the situation that you're trying to prevent.
Trust me, I am holding a backpack back for myself.
Oh, Pops, you won't need it. I'm praying for everybody's pulling for you. You know that we're behind you all the way. So donations, all you already said, all of it goes to the backpacks to the homeless. You don't take any profit or anything. You need money. You need donations for transportation, and of course for what's in the backpacks itself, the contents of the backpack, and somewhere to store these items that you get. Right? What's going on with that?
Well, now that I'm having to sell my farm. Now it falls back to my assistant director. He's got a place that he can use for storage for now. What we are looking at, hopefully in the future, is to buy an old shutdown gas station or convenience store or something like that and make that our corporate office. Have my assistant director manning it, and I will actually be moving to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and living in a senior living center, not a rest home, but a senior living center. I'll be traveling up to Oklahoma City at least once a week or so.
So donations, donations, donations. Everybody share this episode, please. So obviously they can find you on your website. They can find your You have PayPal, you have Cash App.
Our website is ZROHF. That's ZROHF.org. Cash App is the money sign, capital ZACHS 1216. And then our PayPal is Zach's Raise.
Is there anything else you want people to know, Pops, before we sign off here?
Just a simple fact, we do need help. This is the worst time of year for foundations. We're young. We are actually jumping into an area that is, in some respects, unpopular by a lot of people, but yet it's an area that needs all the help that can be given to it. If it wasn't for Zach's Race of Hope, there is no telling how many people would have froze to death this past winter. I know for a fact there were at least 3, if not 5, that froze over the winter in Oklahoma City alone. It is a dire situation. We got winter coming right around the corner again, which means that there are going to be hundreds more that are going to be in jeopardy of weather related issues. So we've got to get a jump on it now before it's too late.
Yeah, and it takes a village. So everybody, please share this out. And if you can't donate money, if you're not in a position to donate right now, at least go to the socials, share it out to your friends, follow Zach's Rays of Hope, get the word out, help push it. And that always helps too. Just spreading the word, helping push the socials, that always helps as well. So get involved any way you
Most definitely.
can. It doesn't have to be monetarily right now. Obviously, a lot of us are not able to help in that way, but there's other ways to help. So please do what you can. What you do is so important. Thank you so much for coming today and for what you're doing.
Sure, my pleasure. One of my little taglines is, may the blessings of heaven and earth be upon each and every one of you. Until we meet again, have a blessed night, everyone.
Well said, Pops, and a great way to end the show. So, everybody out there, thank you for being here as well. And until next time, keep asking questions, keep seeking truth, and keep growing through the dirt. Remember that even in the darkest places, hope can take root. See you next week right here on From Dirt We Grow.